Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talking Games with Kellie and Andrew. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Kellie.
Kellie, we saw some people this weekend. We were together in person.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed out to us that it's funny because it's hello, everyone, and welcome to Talking Games with Kellie and Andrew. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Kellie.
Yeah, and we do it in reverse order of the names. And I just want to say, if you think that's silly, especially if you're the person who told us, heck off.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was really obscene. I'm sorry. What I meant to say, it was a slip of the tongue. It was a simple slip of the tongue. What I meant to say was, thank you for your listenership.
Aw.
And if you happen to have a large sum of money, feel free to acquire us. If you happen to be a Saudi crown prince.
Oh.
Then we're not interested because human rights are really important to this show.
Yeah.
However, money speaks volumes. To SNK, I suppose. SNK, developers of King of Fighters and Metal Slug, among many other games, has been mostly bought by the Saudi crown prince. This is a really weird one. This almost felt like a joke transition, but no, it's real. The SNK Corporation has been bought by the Salman Foundation, which is run by the Saudi crown prince, and they now have 96.18% of SNK's shares. This is
interesting.
Weird.
The name of the company is very it's called the Electronic Gaming Development Company.
Yeah.
And they've also bought shares in Capcom. And not only Capcom, but also Nexon. They have 5% in both that are worth more than $1 billion. Same guy.
That's this is a weird story. I don't have enough knowledge of the political climate in Saudi Arabia to make any truly impactful comments, but I can say it's weird because it is that.
It's a very rich, very, very rich place. And the people in charge there are very, very rich.
Yes.
And that alone is an understatement.
Yes. And they also maybe have they have terrible moral values and they do terrible things to journalists especially. So we don't like these dudes. Would you concur?
Yeah.
Is that too controversial?
No. I mean, you could argue many major governments do terrible things, but there is a specific vendetta against journalism.
See, do you want to know the big difference here? Most governments don't own video game companies.
That's true. There are certain things that corporations in the United States have to do in order to make a lot of money, and sometimes that's through the government. But there's no government.
I think capitalist corruption is not as bad as the ending of human lives.
Yeah.
I think that is not a controversial statement.
No.
Are there perhaps any video game characters who like to end
Wow.
I would like to give up my podcastership. What I meant to say was, are there perhaps any video? I even messed that up.
Oh, Andrew.
I'm going to get fired. Don't tell our boss.
Okay.
Are there perhaps any video game characters who have ended human lives? Fictionally?
Maximum Pain. That's not his name. Max Payne 1 and 2 are video games.
Okay.
I've never played them, but the main character in them does do a lot of killing.
Okay.
Remedy recently announced a remake of Max Payne 1 and 2 in a collaboration agreement with Rockstar Games, who I believe were the original publishers. They were the original publishers. It's not just a belief of mine. It is reality.
I believe this thing. It's my opinion.
So these remakes will be for PC, PS5, the new Xbox Series X/S.
Are you excited?
No.
Okay.
No.
You don't sound very excited.
No, I don't care about Max Payne. I don't care about Rockstar. I was actually just talking to my partner about Rockstar.
Big fan.
And how it really feels like, because he's been replaying Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, that's a good game.
And it really feels like Rockstar just doesn't want to do new IPs anymore. Not that Red Dead was a new IP, but it's like they really just had Red Dead. They had L.A. Noire. They had Bully. And they had GTA. And they're not touching Bully ever again. And they're not touching L.A. Noire ever again. And it seems like they're pretty done with Red Dead.
Yep. Rockstar's just the Grand Theft Auto company, probably.
Yeah, and the way that they talk about Grand Theft Auto, it really feels like there's never going to be any other Rockstar game other than Grand Theft Auto.
And there's hardly going to be any more Grand Theft Auto games.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if GTA 6 had any less than a 12-year life cycle.
Yeah.
You know, and that game's not, we don't even have a release date for that game, so.
Right. And plus, this game isn't even developed by Rockstar. It's developed by Remedy, so.
Yeah, Remedy, so, because Remedy is independent of Rockstar now. Remedy is their own company, which is fantastic. Gives them a lot more creative control, ironically, over games such as Control. So being able to make a new Max Payne game it's a really big deal, because I would say this franchise was largely considered dead. And it coming back not only as a remade product, but one developed by its original developers I think it's exciting. I have not played the originals. I've heard nothing but good things generally. I think they're a little goofy these days to look at, so a remake's not a bad idea. And I think there's not a lot of like high action detective games these days, so hey, I'll take something new.
Yeah.
But if you're getting tired of video games, you could always build some Legos.
Some what? Can you say that word again?
Why did I say it funny?
You said Legos.
I meant Legos.
Right.
Lego Group is partnering with Epic Games to develop a child-friendly metaverse project. This was directly after they invested $1 billion into Epic. Child-friendly metaverse project does not sound like two sets of words that can go together, because the metaverse is a very money-hungry place, and children should not be preyed upon for money.
Not only that, but any environment that touts itself, especially an environment that can be as unregulated as the internet, that touts itself as child-friendly, it's just like a breeding ground for creeps. Truly.
Exactly. It's a social... I don't think children should be given online social environments, because it requires a lot of online literacy that no matter how well you train your child... teach. I live with a cat and not a child, clearly.
Stay. Don't go in the metaverse.
Sit, stay, do not use Roblox. It just seems like a bad idea. It does feel to me like this is Lego's attempt at thwarting Roblox, potentially, because Roblox always looked like off-brand Lego to me. And $1 billion is a lot of money, and they're technically separate stories. Technically, they invested $1 billion in Epic and then also partnered for a new metaverse project. But let's be realistic here. That $1 billion probably sweetened the deal for Epic. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, it's just so much money, and you're right. There's no there's no good faith reading of this. You know, the metaverse and things like of that nature are tools to make money. And
Exactly.
children should not be marketed to in this way. It is very predatory. And might I also add that this feels very, very gross and yucky because you're right. It really just feels like they see how popular Roblox is among kids, and they see that they can make a lot of money in that way.
Yes.
And it's very, very gross. It's very weird. I think metaverses,
It is weird.
quote unquote, have existed for a very, very long time on the internet. When I was younger, I used to go on Gaia online, which was like you'd make a little anime avatar and they'd like run around and be a little person.
That's
and
adorable.
You could talk to other people. It was cute, but it was unregulated, as these places always are. And then you think of things like Second Life and like VR chat, and VR chat's a little bit different because I think there is a certain demographic, like kids aren't really,
No.
kids probably are, but it's like VR is kind of expensive.
Yeah.
It's probably not like an everyday sort of thing, but that's beside the point. What I'm saying is metaverses are very hard to regulate. The best you can do is do like a swear word filter, but
if there's voice chat, you can't do that.
Yeah. You with $1 billion, you could probably do anything. You could get some AI to detect swear words as they're being said. And
I
bleep
can't
them.
believe that Epic Games got paid $1 billion this week. That's incredible. That's such an enormous sum of money to get paid by one person or one group in a week. It's crazy that it happened once.
Well, believe it, Andrew.
Yeah.
Because it happened. Because Sony has invested $1 billion.
No, wait. I thought you just said... Wait, but Lego invested $1 billion, though.
It's Sony, baby.
Wait, but Lego...
And?
Wait, are you telling me... No.
Yeah.
Both? Sony and Lego?
Yeah.
That would be crazy if true.
Put on your crazy hat.
It's very, very firmly upon my head right now. After this.
So Sony has invested a $1 billion into Epic Games.
God.
Epic Games. They make Fortnite.
And the new Lego Metaverse project.
And the new Lego Metaverse project. Like the banana, he did the dances. He's a banana.
Uh-huh.
And is Ariana Grande, and LeBron James and Thanos, and they do dances and such.
Yes.
That Fortnite. Maybe you've heard of it.
I have.
This is a lot of money. In a statement from Kenichiro Yoshido, Sony's CEO, chief executive, he said, "We are also confident that Epic's expertise, including their powerful game engine, combined with Sony's technologies, will accelerate our various efforts." I'm allowing all of those sentences to just sort of sit with you for a little while.
It feels weird. Like, the last story made more sense to me. Lego wanting Epic to work on this thing that is using their IP. That made sense. Sony giving $1 billion just to be like, hey, y'all are doing a great job. Here's $1 billion. And I know it's deeper than that, but that's just how it sounds,
It's this metaverse stuff. It's just like, it's completely dominated the conversation. It's just exhausting. It's like these places have existed for a long time.
Yeah.
So why is it just now we're like, we need to spend billions of dollars on this?
And it's going to die, and these billions will have been spent on next either nothing or dead on arrival projects. So it's just so strange. And like, well, I guess this is a good way to transition to the next story because it's really important to this. Unreal Engine 5, in a new showcase, got shown off, along with the announcement that it is now publicly available. So we've talked quite a bit about Unreal Engine 5 on this show, but it's only been available to limited developers. And now anybody can get it for themselves and make games with it. The hope would be that this is going to, as you know, Yoshida kind of implied, accelerate video game development. If it's an accessible product, it is one that could make video game development go a lot quicker. Because Unreal Engine 4 really pushed the bounds of like photorealism and such. And I think the real duty of Unreal Engine 5 should be taking that photorealism and making it a lot faster, making it more capable of being done in real time, and basically just streamlining the video game development process across the board. And I guess Sony thinks it's worth $1 billion to do so. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Unreal Engine 5 is a very huge deal for a lot of different groups and developers. And I'm going to be honest, I was very excited by the news that Unreal Engine 5 was public. It kind of got sullied by those last two stories coming after it, because it reminded me like Unreal Engine 5 and Epic are the same entity, where in my brain they're not. But they are. They are the same entity.
Yeah. I mean, it's theirs. It's their engine.
I so closely associate Unreal with the products that are made in it, you know? I think Unreal Engine and I'm like, ooh, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Ooh, Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I think about games that came from that engine rather than, ooh, Epic Games' Unreal Engine. And I think that's why this story's kind of so much different as the news came out this week.
I guess this sort of begs the question, what does this mean for the future of Unreal Engine? I mean, is the next Unreal Engine only going to be available through PlayStation? Not 5, but 6? I don't know.
I mean,
that
if
would be
it's
crazy.
The first of many investments, maybe. Epic is worth many, many billions, so I don't know. It's a lot to say. Fortnite will never go exclusive, so it's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
It's a thought. Not really one I like, but it's a thought.
It's a thought. It's bad and stupid, but it is a thought.
The fact that it's possible is frustrating, but it's a thought.
Yeah. Well, we did get, not necessarily a glimpse, but we found out that the new Tomb Raider game from Crystal Dynamics, their new Tomb Raider game is going to be on Unreal Engine 5. And it's supposed to sort of, this isn't necessarily confirmed, but a while back they talked about sort of connecting the bridge between the new Tomb Raider games and the old ones, and have Lara be a little bit more experienced, a little bit seasoned. And I'm like, well, the truth is there's been like 3 Tomb Raider games already in this new series. If she's not seasoned by now, then, you know,
she never will be.
Throw the whole lady away. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not seasoned after swimming through a river of blood, I don't know what to tell you. You need to get a little salt and pepper on it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like how long it took me to realize what you were saying. I was like, I don't know. What do you mean seasoned? Salt and pepper?
Yeah.
Seasonings.
See? Get it? You get it?
Have you played all the Tomb Raider games? The new ones?
I played the first 2.
Okay. Are you excited by this news?
I don't know. I guess so. I feel like the first one was... I have very fond memories of the first one, but I had it on Xbox 360. I got it for my birthday. I remember I had the really cool like metal case for it. And I really enjoyed it. And then the second one I was kind of like, this isn't this isn't as fun, which I think is not the popular opinion. I think people preferred the next ones after the first one, but I don't know. I think some of the fun had just worn off for me. But in that year, I think maybe it was 2013. I might be wrong. Maybe 2012.
It was 2013, the original.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought, but I wasn't sure. And that year, I was I was having a very, very good time playing video games. That was a good year for me. And this is unrelated, and you can totally cut this out if you feel like it's appropriate. But for that birthday, me and my family also went to Longhorn Steakhouse, and I had a really, really good steak and a really, really good salad with blue cheese dressing.
Why would I cut that? That's the most.
I don't know.
That's so pertinent.
I think it was my 16th birthday. How old am I?
I don't know.
No. Wait, that was 2013. It was 9 years ago. So it was my 15th birthday.
That sounds right.
I feel like it was my 16th. But okay, it's fine. Anyway, totally unrelated. How are you feeling about this?
I feel next to nothing.
That's how I felt about the Max Payne news.
Yeah. There was some news this week. Let's take a shift, Kelly. Let's shift gears.
Let's change Ultima forms.
Let's do it. Let's change forms and talk about nothing but positive stuff for the rest of the show.
Okay.
There was a presentation.
Yes.
Posted to youtube.com.
Yes.
Sunday morning. This past Sunday morning. From the Kingdom Hearts YouTube channel. A video summarizing news from the 20th anniversary event held in Tokyo on April 10th. In this recap, we got some news. The first of the news bits was the announcement of the final chapter of Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, a mobile game coming August 2022. I am one of the biggest Kingdom Hearts fans you can find, and I don't care about Dark Road very much. It is a prequel about Xehanort, the central villain of most Kingdom Hearts games. However, I am a distinct not fan of the art style, so I will be very excited to watch a YouTube summary of all the plot revelations come August. The next game they announced was called Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. This is another mobile game. It looks very akin to Union Cross, which is another game I thought was very ugly and stupid. But this game looks less ugly and stupid. It has 3D models and some interesting stylistic choices. At the very least, I'm excited by the plot that's going to come from this game. There seems to be some actual cutscenes that definitely don't look as good as the console endeavors, but they still look very nice, and I'm excited to see what comes from it. That game is getting closed beta testing in 2022. And now you might be asking yourself, but Andrew, how are you getting so excited by mobile games? That's strange, because you said this was exciting, Andrew. Mobile games aren't exciting to you, Andrew. Why are you saying that you are excited, Andrew? That's what I imagine you sound like right now, audience. Frustrated and saying my name over and over again. The reason, audience, that I am excited is because at the end of this announcement trailer, we got the reveal of the much anticipated but still very surprising Kingdom Hearts 4. It is a new game developed fittingly on Unreal Engine 5. We do not have any release window, but we have quite a bit of information. This trailer showed off a new art style, one that is very different, much more akin to latter Final Fantasy games, much more photorealistic in its world. Sora has a brand new look, my lads. He looks much more real. He's still a little anime, which is fine by me because he is Sora, but hair has been a lot less pointified, you know? He's softened up a little, softened. The combat was even shown off a little bit. It's very, very quick and streamlined, even more so than Kingdom Hearts 3 was. There are some really exciting plot revelations in this trailer that I will not go into because it only makes sense to the deepest of Kingdom Hearts fans. And y'all have already watched this trailer at least 6 times, let's be honest. Some people are discussing the fact that there appears to be a Star Wars tease. In the forest world, you can see the foot of what appears to be a Star Wars robot. And at the end, they teased a little bit of Disney stuff going on. Don't worry, Donald and Goofy are still here. Again, Kingdom Hearts 4, no release window, but we know about it. I am over the moon. I got onto the moon. And then I was too excited, so I just kept going. I jumped off the moon and kept going. I'm on my way to Mars, guys. I have so many positive... I just am freaking out. When I saw Sora in this trailer, I panicked. I was like, I don't know. I can't breathe. What's going on? What is this? I adored Kingdom Hearts 3, as I think most Kingdom Hearts fans did. I understand there's a lot of negativity around it from people who, I think generally from people who jumped in without a knowledge of the series, which is kind of valid, you know. Most games you should be able to hop in on, but the series does not allow that. And I think this game looks of similar quality, even though the graphics are a gigantic, enormous step up. It's almost weird how much of a leap this is. So, what are your thoughts, Kelly? I know I could talk for hours and days about this because I have infinite thoughts. But what are your thoughts, Kelly, as someone who's less entrenched in this pile of video game?
Yeah. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, I kind of felt a little bit strange. I don't like that Sora has tiny feet now.
You mean human feet?
Yeah, that's not right. That's just wrong.
It is strange.
But I think a change of setting is very interesting. It still feels very like Kingdom Hearts to me, just in the little bit of combat that we saw. It's very like bombastic, and we're running and jumping and flying through the air, and there's a giant creature that we have to kill. There were a few like, I don't even know if this is who they are anymore, but it looked like there were a few like Organization 13 members towards the end of the trailer.
Yeah, that's not
them anymore.
Not doesn't matter, but
well, to a casual Kingdom Hearts fan such as myself, that is what I saw.
Yeah.
But I do think that I am interested to see how the universe could possibly expand. I feel like Disney owns so much now. It's like, is there going to be like a Simpsons world?
That is possible. I mean, it's not probable by any stretch, but...
Wouldn't that just be the funniest, though?
Summon Homer Simpson in. He just throws cans of Duff at your enemies.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure how I felt. It looked a little bit dead to me. It didn't look very... Like, my eyes were not feeling good when I saw it. I think because Kingdom Hearts has always, for me, been very colorful and very... like, it's very fun to watch. It's fun to look at. It's a very aesthetically enriched game. I was sort of disappointed with the way that everything was very grayscale and the people just looked like, I don't know. They looked like bad Sims. I don't know. I just wasn't super fond of the quadratum setting. I don't know if that is going to be where I'm sure as a Kingdom Hearts game there will be other places to go, but I don't know. I just kind of wish that the trailer was more visually appealing. Not saying that it was ugly, because it was very beautiful. I mean, Sora looks amazing, yeah, and Donald and Goofy looked amazing, but
the animation on Donald and Goofy was like out of this world. I was blown away.
Yeah, it looked very nice, but it was the...
I'd like to provide you some hope. Two things. One, I think the story behind Quadratum kind of gives some explanation to how it feels. And also, more importantly, I do not think the majority of the game will take place here. I think it'll likely be an extended opening maybe like let's just say Kingdom Hearts 4 is 30 hours long. I would assume maybe 5 hours will be in Quadratum. And I think there will still be a whole lot of Disney goodness.
See, I agree with you, and I'm inclined to agree with you, and I'm sure you're right. I just wish
this is what they showed us.
Yeah, I just wish that what they had showed us was maybe a little bit more. But maybe that's just like they're trying to subvert what we were expecting. Because Kingdom Hearts 3, the first thing we saw was very colorful.
Yeah.
I was a baby child when the first teasers for Kingdom Hearts 2 were out, but I'm sure they were also very colorful.
It's it definitely feels like it's not just a graphical change. It is a direction change.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. I think Kingdom Hearts I almost feel like it ran its course in a lot of ways, and this is a new direction. And a new direction is probably what'll keep it fresh and interesting.
Yeah. I would really like to see Homer Simpson.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Homer Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to see
Wow, that's a long list.
I would like to see Princess Leia. I would like to see an Ewok being very cute. I would like to see... What's a Disney movie we haven't done yet?
I think part of the reason this style change happened might be so that they can go to more realistic worlds in a more organic way. Because Sora always looked some degree of out of place in the quote-unquote photorealistic worlds. Like at the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Tron worlds, it always kind of like, wow, this is Sora next to a dude. But I think if he looks... I mean, we saw how he looks in this trailer. Like, he looks a lot more grounded. If you put him next to Luke Skywalker, it's going to look a lot more organic than it would have in the past. And I think that might be part of why they did it, so that they could go to Star Wars worlds or perhaps some Marvel worlds.
I was just about to say... You know what would be a really cool world would be like Wakanda. That would be cool. There's nowhere else in the Marvel series that's really that cool.
I think that it probably would end up having to be like New York and then just make it like an Avengers plot.
Yeah, or like in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep. I mean, we've technically been to a Marvel world because Big Hero 6 was in Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's true.
But that was very different, obviously. There's so much to talk about here, but it's also something I don't want to like dwell too much upon because this is a game we're not going to see for a long time. I don't think it'll be overly long. The Kingdom Hearts 3 development cycle was very steeped in trials and tribulations, shall we say. So the 6-year gap between announcement and release is not something I expect here. This game will not take 6 years to finish. They are making it Unreal 5. The gap between when they moved Kingdom Hearts 3 to Unreal 4 and its release was not that substantial. So this game's being made in Unreal from the start is a very good sign. I don't want to like get anybody's hopes up, but my guess / hope would be at latest mid-2024. I think that is pretty reasonable because I think there's a decent chance we'll end next year with a part 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake and then this the following year.
I would agree with that. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I was freaking out because I was with a couple people that morning because I had people spending the night at my house who happen to be Kingdom Hearts fans, and this was very, very unexpected to wake up to. So we got to watch it together, and we were all like, oh. And the second they showed Sora's face, I started like flailing, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And for anybody who maybe is a little worried, because this got shown before Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, I think the reason is because Remake Part 2 is much more of a given, so they don't need to show it off as much in advance. You know, we know Remake Part 2 is happening. We did not know Kingdom Hearts 4 was happening until Sunday.
Yes.
So do not panic. You're still getting your Final Fantasies.
So this little movie came out this past weekend, right?
Yeah, pretty small.
It's called Sonic 2. It was the sequel to Sonic 1. The last movie that many of us saw before the coronavirus shut everything down. Not blaming Sonic, but I'm just saying. Very interesting coincidence.
Sonic, coronavirus, a lot of the same letters.
Just saying. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just throwing that out there. You can do with that information what you will. But anyway, the sequel, Sonic 2, which came out this past weekend, is now on track to be the highest grossing video game movie ever. Which it would be beating the first Sonic. And it's making 71 million domestically. That's here in the United States. And then 141 million globally, which is as around the world, as we know, the word global. This is really cool.
I'm pretty surprised.
Part of me, the pessimistic side of me was like, well, yeah, Sonic's like the only good video game movie. But the optimistic side of me is also like, this is good. Because
uptick.
It's a good movie, I think. I'm sure we'll learn more about it later in this episode.
Perhaps.
It is respectful to its source material while also being able to be easily adaptable.
Yeah.
This is no disrespect. Actually, this is all disrespect to the creators of Uncharted, the movie.
We trash on them.
All disrespect to the creators of the Mortal Kombat movie from like 5 years ago or whatever.
Mortal Kombat came out like a year ago.
No way.
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah. Mortal Kombat just came out.
No.
I think we were making this show and we chose not to watch it.
No. Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. I think you have no perception of time.
2021.
Are you thinking of Warcraft? The current highest grossing video game movie?
No.
Are you thinking about Street Fighter 1992?
I might have been thinking of Warcraft.
Either way. I'm very excited to hear this, though, because, like, the fact that it beat the original's numbers is exciting because the original came out on a 4-day weekend. So having one less day in the cinema world is a very big deal.
And it was also pre-pandemic. I mean, people were going to the movies all the time back then.
Really?
Going to movies now, but not as much as probably they were back then.
Takes more to get them out, you know?
Yeah. I know if I can just stream it on HBO Max.
Why would you?
A month later. I mean, come on.
I hope I can stream this somewhere in a month because I'm going to want to watch it again. I'm going to want to watch this movie many more times. I went to see this movie. I have lots of thoughts. But before we get into the review of the Sonic movie, we have a very exciting word from our co-sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Sentry, a new esports organization from Pittsburgh. Their team runs tournaments for Smash and other video games. Find them on Twitch at twitch.tv/PGH Sentry. That is PGHSENTRY. Or go to their website, smackcentury.gg. That is SMAKSENTRY.gg to find out more info about attending or viewing their content. Thank you again to our sponsor, our first ever sponsor.
Thanks.
We really appreciate it. It's really exciting.
Thank you. It is exciting.
We're big game. We're big leagues.
We're in the big leagues now, baby.
So this was
Who's
a bit
your
of a...
Smash main?
Mine?
Mm-hmm. Zelda, right?
Lucas.
Oh,
no.
sorry.
Lucas, Ridley, and Bayonetta.
Was it ever Zelda?
No. I play as...
Who was I talking to?
I don't know.
Okay.
Who's your Smash main?
Zelda.
Well, then what? Are you just thinking of yourself?
No, I actually like Robin too. And
Okay.
Corrin.
That didn't answer my
And
question. Are you
Violet.
just thinking of yourself?
Maybe. I don't know who I was talking. I thought Zelda was your main.
Maybe you were too busy watching Sentry on Twitch and you got confused.
At twitch.tv/PGH Century? Yeah, I think I was.
Well, hopefully the audience does the same, and I hope they have a great time doing it, because I know I do every time I check it out, so you better too. I didn't mean to be aggressive.
It's okay. Did you see any movies this weekend?
Oh yeah, I forgot that we were going to move into the review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, major motion picture. I went and saw this movie on Thursday, the preview day, because I wanted to see it as soon as I possibly could. I'll just let you know right off the bat, if you want to know nothing about this movie, but you want to know what I'm thinking, I loved it. I highly recommend seeing it. So if you need to see it without any information, turn off the episode and then come back later to listen to my opinions. I recommend it highly, especially if you like the first movie. If you didn't like the first movie, I'm a little confused why you even care about the second. But alas, maybe you'll like that anyway. Sonic was absolutely adorable, as he was in the first movie, but even more so. Tails was precious. Their friendship was genuinely cute to watch because, you know, they meet in this movie as hinted by the trailers and by the post-credit scene of the first movie. And it's really cute to watch them kind of grow into like this brotherly friendship as they go through the movie. And it feels like there's legitimate development in a way that honestly surpasses a lot of the games because it starts from scratch. It assumes that they've never seen each other, and that's really cool. Also, Tails looks like my cat. Like, he has the same color scheme and fluffiness as my cat, but he does look like a fox. However, there's one scene where he is laying on his side briefly, and you see him, and I'm like, oh my God. And I looked over at my partner, and they were like, oh my God. And it was the realization that was my cat with the big fluffy tail. It was precious.
Aww.
Knuckles was very silly, but also the action involving him was very cool to watch. He's definitely a little goofy with his big gloves on at all times, but I was still able to appreciate it. All the action in this movie was very amusing. It was cartoony, but still some degree of grounded, so you weren't completely taken out, since it is a real world, quote unquote. And it had a really good pace, a good balance of slower moments versus the action. Plenty of character discussions with each other that didn't get too boring. The CG was a big improvement over the first movie. I liked the first movie quite a bit, but Sonic did look a little bit taped in at some points. Like, he looked a little not exactly organic, and that's not a horrible thing, but it was something I noticed while watching. And this one, I don't think even once I paused and thought like, oh, that's CG, because it just felt organic. They did a really good job with the lighting and blending them into the world really nicely. The only times that maybe I questioned it were direct human to CG interactions, like some hugs. Hugs never go well. They shouldn't hug CG characters. It should be only high fives. There is a dance number in this movie. It is very good. It is adorable. It like teased that it was about to happen, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was a little pessimistic. I was like, this ain't gonna be good. And then a certain Uptown Funk started playing. That
Uptown
may
Funk
or may
you
not
up?
may have been involved in the scene to some extent. A song that I don't enjoy. Or should I say I didn't enjoy until Sonic the Hedgehog 2 major motion picture. I'm not going to tell you any more than that. I just loved it. There are a whole lot of references in this movie, as one might expect. References to all over the Sonic series. The nice thing is that they're very organically placed. So those who don't know what it is referencing won't feel like, what are they talking about? There's only one that was a little like, It was like a second long, so it's not a big deal, but it was like, if you don't know what they're referencing, it is a confusing shot. So, to each their own. But it was still a lot of very cute stuff going on. There is very little human plot in this movie. James Marsden's character is not in it very much at all, which is a big improvement. Because when I'm going to see a Sonic movie, I don't know if you know this, but I kind of just want to see Sonic. And the vast majority of this movie has either Sonic, Tails, or Knuckles on screen. There's very few moments where it's just human beings, which is that's a good thing. And I think it will continue to be that way as this franchise continues. The cast did a really good job. Idris Elba, the biggest newcomer in this, did a really good job of kind of creating his own version of Knuckles. He did not feel like later game Knuckles. He felt almost like a version of Adventure and the older games combined. But he gave his own personality to the character. He did not do a squeaky voice like he said in interviews he wanted to. He did a very deep Idris Elba-y voice. And it is recognizable as him, but that's not a bad thing. Yeah, he was hot. I'm going to cut that, though. Ben Schwartz came back as Sonic and did an even better job this time. Kind of captured even more Sonic energy while taking the character in a fun new direction. Jim Carrey returned. He looked better in this movie with his big orange mustache, but he still was very much himself. That's not a bad thing. He didn't remind me of Eggman, but I was amused by basically every scene he was in. If you like Jim Carrey, you'll like his character in this movie. Colleen O'Shaughnessy really kind of blew me away because she is a video game voice actress who just sort of blended in. Didn't really notice that she wasn't a big Hollywood name, and she did just as good a job as the other major voices. And I think that deserves a lot of credit. The post-credits scene, I'm not going to spoil it, don't worry, but it did a wonderful job of making Sonic fans very, very happy and setting up a sequel very nicely. It did come out shortly after the release of the movie that Jim Carrey was retiring from acting, so that kind of made me worried going in that this movie would heavily rely upon Eggman as a villain for the series going forward. But the setup, they could definitely lose Eggman and it would still be a plot that I want to watch, versus the end of the first movie made it so Eggman was necessary. And I'm also very excited for the Knuckles show. I'm excited to see some more silly antics and some stupid comments. Some stupid, ignorant, very cute and funny comments from my big red echidna boy. This was a great movie. I enjoyed it as somebody who has liked the Sonic character for many years. My partner enjoyed it as somebody who has not cared about the Sonic characters until I made them. And that really speaks volumes, I think. Go see it if you're interested. I mean, I'm not telling you because it needs the economic support. As we've discussed, it's making bank. However, if you like the first movie, you're almost definitely going to like this even more. If you like Sonic and the characters involved, you're almost definitely going to enjoy what this movie gives you. If you don't like the first movie or don't like the characters, this doesn't do anything to change that. But if you do think that animals that look like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in the trailers are cute, you also will probably enjoy it. Tails is really cute. I'm sorry, I just got to make that before I wrap this up. I really got to point out Tails is adorable in this movie.
He's just a little guy.
He's just a little guy. He was adorable. We started on some weird news today.
We did.
But too much good stuff happened. I'm in a good mood, you know. Video games are treating me well. Video game movies are treating me well.
I'm happy for you.
I can't complain.
I wouldn't want you to complain. Unless you are bothered, in which
Okay.
case I eagerly await.
The complaints.
But if you're happy that I'm
And you know it.
clap your hands.
Did you play any games?
I played Smeldon Ring. I'm almost done. I don't know if I'm almost done.
You're playing it on PS5, right?
Yes.
It tells you that percentage. What does it say?
50.
Kelly, I think that doesn't mean almost. I think that means halfway.
Okay, I know, but the area that I'm in right now feels very end gamey to me.
Yeah, okay.
I just beat more.
Well,
I don't know if that's a spoiler.
that's fine.
I
It's just a name.
I just beat a boss. Well, I didn't just do it, but I did it, and then I went to a different place, and then I tried to beat the boss there, and I got whooped on super hard.
Doesn't it feel great?
I was like, what just happened? I was doing really well, like just totally breezing through this one area, and then I got to this other area, and I beat a boss there, and I was like, that was a little bit hard, but it wasn't like super challenging. And then I go to a castle in this area, and I go to the boss in the castle, and I don't even touch him. He said, no, I don't think so, girly. Get out of here. All right.
I'm glad you're still having a good time. Do you have any new thoughts besides being beaten up?
No new thoughts. You guys won't believe what else I'm playing right now.
I don't actually know. You don't have it in the sheet. Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I get one very tiny hint? Because I have a few guesses, but I need a little bit of direction. Tiny hint.
It's a fantasy game.
Dragon Age.
How'd you know?
It was just trying to pick between Skyrim and Dragon Age then.
I'm never not playing Dragon Age. Let me just be clear.
Yeah. So that's really not much of a guess and more of just a statement of expectation.
It's just always rotating in the background.
That's how it goes.
I finish Inquisition and then I'm like, all right, time to start Origins again.
And it's always going on in the background of your life.
Yes. I have a problem.
What's the problem? Oh, Dragon Age.
I can't.
I don't know why I assumed you had a separate problem.
But I was
you
just
have that.
actually doing a confessional right now.
Yeah, I know about that problem.
Have you played anything this week, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody about it, but I'm going to give you some hints.
Okay.
And by hints, I'm going to tell you what I played, but I'm not going to tell you about. I'm going to tell you what I played, but you're going to have to come back next week for some thoughts.
Oh.
I started Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Yeah, it has lightsabers. Mostly positive impressions, but I'll talk more next week. And then I started PlayStation 5 and PC exclusive Ghostwire Tokyo. You gonna make lightsaber sounds for that one?
No, I'm gonna.
Oh God. Okay, stop. I'm scared. Stop. I'm scared. Kelly, please. Oh God. Okay. Well, tune in next week to hear my impressions of Lego Star Wars and Ghostwire Tokyo. I gotta go quickly because Kelly is freaking me out.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode.
Talking loud doesn't cancel how much you scared me, Kelly.
I would like to formally apologize on behalf of the ghosts in my room for scaring Andrew.
That wasn't you.
No. What are you talking about?
Oh my God. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye.